corruption other than through cases that we bring. But I understand the point that you're making, for sure.
We're not getting much cooperation out of Mexico, are we?
Let me put it this way. While we have had some successes here and there in terms of extraditions and so forth, and I appreciate those, and I'm grateful to our Mexican partners for those, especially at the working level, we need a whole lot more from Mexico than we've gotten in terms of shutting down the cartels and stopping the flow of the precursors. I mean, I could go on and on. So I'm grateful for the successes we have had, but we need a heck of a lot more, is the way I would answer that.
Why don't we use leverage of what I call NAFTA 2 to try to encourage the president of Mexico to cooperate more?
What you just watched is one of those moments in Congress that reminds you why oversight still matters. This wasn't political theater. This was Senator John Kennedy doing what too many lawmakers refuse to do, asking uncomfortable questions, out loud, on the record, and directly to the FBI Director. From calling out Mexico's lack of cooperation with drug cartels to pressing the FBI on Jeffrey Epstein's network of powerful associates, Senator Kennedy didn't dance around the issue. He went straight to the heart of it. Are powerful people being protected, or is the law actually being enforced equally? And what makes this clip so striking isn't just the questions. It's the hesitation, the deflection, and the visible discomfort in the responses. Today, we're breaking down exactly why this exchange matters, what Senator Kennedy exposed without ever raising his voice, and why Americans should be paying very close attention to what wasn't answered. If you value accountability, transparency, and real consequences for real crimes, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Congress Lens, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our deep dives into moments like this. I'm Audrey. Let's get into it.
Okay, so in fairness, Senator Kennedy.
Sorry, Martin. Mr. Director, welcome. I bet you just love talking about where to put the FBI building, don't you? Probably one of your favorite topics. I've got two questions. Number one, if you took the major Mexican drug cartels, which also traffic people into the United States, and turned them upside down and shook them, President Lopez Obrador would fall out of their pockets, wouldn't he?
Well, I don't know that I can comment on a specific individual's corruption other than through cases that we bring, but I understand the point that you're making, for sure.
We're not getting much cooperation out of Mexico, are we?
Let me put it this way. While we have had some successes here and there in terms of extraditions and so forth, and I appreciate those, and I'm grateful to our Mexican partners for those, especially at the working level, we need a whole lot more from Mexico than we've gotten in terms of shutting down the cartels and stopping the flow of the precursors. I mean, I could go on and on. So I'm grateful for the successes we have had, but we need a heck of a lot more, is the way I would answer that.
Why don't we use leverage of what I call NAFTA 2 to try to encourage the president of Mexico to cooperate more?
Yeah, I mean, NAFTA, of course, is a trade agreement, and I'm not really an expert on trade relations. Certainly, from an FBI perspective, we welcome every tool in the toolbox to try to improve the relationship and the cooperation, and I'm hopeful that the Mexican government will see the value of building on the successes we have had and take it to the level that it needs to be, because it's not where it needs to be.
Okay. Here's my second question. We know that Jeffrey Epstein, who is now deceased, and Ms. Maxwell, his associate, who's in prison, were engaged in a conspiracy of sex trafficking with minors. So were others. It's been widely reported. What's the FBI doing to investigate the other people that were involved in these sex trafficking rings?
Well, I'm not sure that I can confirm any specific individual.
Well, let me
being
put it this way.
investigated.
Let me give you some facts, widely reported. Jeffrey Epstein had video surveillance in all of his homes and on his private island. And there have been articles after articles from witnesses who have said he videotaped sex acts with prominent people because he was trying to with young girls that he had procured to try to incur favor with those prominent people and potentially to be able to blackmail them. Now, that's a fact. And the FBI and other federal agencies have raided his houses. Do you have those tapes?
Again, I can't discuss the specifics of our law enforcement operations related to Mr. Epstein or Ms. Maxwell, but obviously we had very active investigation related to both of them. But whether it extends to other people, I'm not sure that's something that I can comment on.
A suit was filed yesterday against one of those prominent people by one of the young women sex trafficked, allegedly, said he was part of the ring. It's on the front page, I don't know, is this New York Times, Wall Street Journal? And we keep seeing article after article after article, and we keep hearing about prominent person after prominent person after prominent person. I just want to know if these prominent people are above the law and are going to be, and aren't being investigated, or is the FBI investigating them?
Well, no one is above the law, number one. As to whether specific people are being investigated, that's not something that I, as I'm sure you can appreciate, can engage on here. We've devoted significant resources to the investigation.
Is it ongoing?
I'm not sure there's anything I can share with you on that, but let me see if we can get back to you and provide a little more information.
Well, for example,
about
these
that.
allegations in this lawsuit, the civil action.
I haven't seen
You ought to read
the article.
It'll trigger your gag reflex. Is the FBI going to investigate that?
Well, again, I haven't seen the article, but I would be happy to take a look at it and take it back and see if it's part of something
I'd
we're
just
already
like to
working on.
know,
I share your...
yeah, is the FBI still investigating this, or are these prominent people going to go scot-free?
I'm not sure that I can tell you whether or not there is ongoing work being devoted to this. I would be happy to take a look at the specific article. I share your disgust at Mr. Epstein's conduct and Ms. Maxwell's conduct.
And others.
The whole operation.
Okay, thanks, Madam Chair. Sorry, Martin. You're a fine American anyway.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
All right, now that you've seen the full exchange, let's talk about what actually happened here. Senator John Kennedy did not accuse recklessly. He didn't grandstand. He didn't speculate wildly. What Senator Kennedy did was methodical and, frankly, devastating in its simplicity. First, on Mexico and the cartels. Senator Kennedy plainly stated what many officials tiptoe around. The Mexican drug cartels are not just criminal organizations, they are deeply embedded in power structures. And when Kennedy suggested that if you shook the cartels upside down, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador might fall out of their pockets, FBI Director Christopher Wray didn't deny the corruption. He avoided naming names. That matters. Director Wray admitted something crucial. The United States is not getting meaningful cooperation from Mexico. Extraditions here and there? Real action to dismantle cartels and stop the flow of deadly drug precursors? Senator Kennedy then did something rare. He suggested leverage. Not empty words. Not diplomatic platitudes. Actual pressure through trade agreements like USMCA. And Director Wray's response was telling. He didn't reject the idea. He said the FBI would welcome any tool available, which is Washington speak for, yes, but no one above me wants to pull the trigger. Then came the Epstein questions, and this is where Senator Kennedy truly cornered the issue. Senator Kennedy laid out facts that are already widely reported. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell ran a sex trafficking operation involving minors. Jeffrey Epstein had surveillance systems in his homes and private island. Multiple witnesses have stated that Jeffrey Epstein recorded sex acts involving powerful individuals. Civil lawsuits continue to name prominent figures. These are not conspiracy theories. These are court filings, witness statements, and documented reporting. So Senator Kennedy asked the question Americans have been asking for years. Does the FBI have the tapes? Are the people on those tapes being investigated? Or are powerful individuals above the law? And what did we hear? I can't discuss that. I can't confirm individuals. I'd be happy to look into it. I'm not sure I can share that. Notice something important. Director Wray never said no investigation exists. He also never said yes, it's ongoing. That silence speaks volumes. To Director Wray's credit, he did say, no one is above the law. But Senator Kennedy rightly pushed back, because words mean nothing without action. If lawsuits keep naming names, if evidence allegedly exists, and if victims are still waiting for justice, then transparency isn't optional. Senator Kennedy wasn't rude. He wasn't reckless. He was persistent, and persistence is exactly what accountability requires. This exchange exposed a deeper problem. A justice system that aggressively prosecutes the powerless while tiptoeing around the powerful. And that's why this moment matters. Senator John Kennedy used his time to say what millions of Americans are thinking. Justice delayed is justice denied, and silence protects the guilty. This is exactly the kind of oversight Congress is supposed to provide. And that's why here on Congress Lens, we will continue to highlight moments where lawmakers demand answers, even when the answers make powerful institutions uncomfortable. I'm Audrey. Thanks for watching.